All right, guys, welcome back to Illmatic Guys. Today, I'm back with the usual Consecrated Seat, episode 15, where I ask questions and answers. We get questions and answers and stuff when it comes to your favorite content creator. And today, I'm here with the neighborhood homegirl, also known as Sarita Productions. So, how's it been? Your weekend and everything? How's everything been for you? All right? I can't, yo, yeah, your volume. I can't hear it. Yeah. See if you, yeah, I still can't. Yeah, the volume. Ah, yeah, I still can't hear you. see if you, see if you can go to your settings and let me see if I can. Uh,
Can you hear me?
okay, yeah, now I can hear
Can
you.
you hear me?
Okay, so yeah, all right.
Oh.
So
Mhm.
I do. Hey, Josh, how's it going? So we're back. Then I do apologize, y'all, for the inconvenience. So my first question, let me just go to this right quick. I thought we were gonna have to figure out what was going on with the volume thing.
Yeah, that
So
was
okay,
weird. I
yes.
don't know. I think it was connected to
So
my phone, but
oh, okay. So my first question for you, question number one, how many years have you been doing YouTube? If you don't mind me asking.
well, I filmed my first podcast like 2 months ago. So I
Two
filmed
months
two
ago.
episodes two months ago, and then this past week I filmed two more. So this is my first time
Okay.
actually like being in front of the camera. I'm always like usually behind the scenes.
Okay.
So I started off as like, a filmmaker, and I, have my production company, Sarita Productions. But that was, I knew that in order to get in like certain doors, because to me, honestly, it's all about like who you know opposed to like what you know sometimes, unfortunately.
Okay. Okay.
So I started off, I was like, well, if I start off as like being a journalist, then that way I could get in certain doors and therefore promote my my short films and web series and stuff like that. So I started working with a magazine company. I was basically helping him like with like editing and writing articles and stuff like that. And I basically fell in love with like telling other people's stories. So I've
Okay.
been, yeah, so after working with him, I started working for like other outlets and stuff, and I was like, I want to create my own thing, tell the stories that resonate with me, and like tell other people's stories the way I want to tell them. So that's why I created the Neighborhood Homegirl, and then from there I started doing the podcast.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, that's a good way to get into like doing YouTube for like you said for the podcast and also your
Hmm.
production company. Yeah,
Yeah.
having two different YouTubes and stuff like that. And Josh said, okay, production company, I see you. One of the supporters of the channel too. Yeah, that's good though. Yeah, so journalism kind of was like the start of it when it came to like your other channel or more so the podcast when it came down to it.
hmm I started doing the
Okay.
podcast because it was a way for me to promote like my articles because my friend was like, I started posting on TikTok and then I started getting used to like actually like, you know, being in front of the camera and like, telling different stories and things that's happening to me and sharing my experiences and stuff. So yeah, that's where that started.
Okay.
It originally started because my friend had the idea that I need to be in front of the camera because I'm more a behind the scenes type of person. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I see it with the podcast and the other channel that you have, y'all can see why.
Yeah.
So yeah, so my next question is, and this is question two: was YouTube always a hobby, or at the beginning, or a passion?
I would say it's a passion that I can see making money. I would always like looking at like TikTok creators and stuff. Um, they would always share that they really make money, like a real income from that. And I was like, dang, like how can I do that? Because I want to make money doing the things that I love to do. And like to be honest, like being a journalist, depending on like what company you work for and how long you've been working, you don't really make that much money because you're under like it's like more like you're under like a contract. It's more freelance. But
Yeah.
being that I've seen how much they really make from like just being themselves, I was like, yeah, I definitely want to start diving into that.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, YouTube for me,
Yeah.
it was a hobby at the beginning stages and stuff, and then eventually, because at some point in time, a lot of people probably already know, but I've said it before, I was more into art. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually, I kind of just got away from like doing art, like painting and drawing and stuff. Um, and pretty much what happened was, after that, I said, man, I gotta find something else to be like invest my time in. And then eventually I said, oh, I can do YouTube. I mean, I wasn't really good at it at the beginning, but it was something that I really enjoyed. And I said, you know what? I got better at editing, got better at putting out content, and just figuring out things because it definitely is a process. You gotta put in the effort, the work, learn new things, and that's the thing with it. So for me, it started as a hobby, but now I am trying to, like you said, monetize off of it once I reach the 3,000 watch hours and stuff. And like you said, at jobs, you do reach a certain bracket where you only can make so much money, and that's absolutely true. You're right about that. Your audio is going in and out. Yeah, yeah, it's still going in and out. See if you can play with the settings on StreamYard and man, trying to figure out. Yeah, still I still can't hear you. Yeah, let me see. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. Yeah,
Okay, I
is it
think it's
something that
I don't know why it's connecting to my phone,
oh man. So
but
wait,
you can
is
hear me
it?
though, right?
I can hear you now. So is it? You might have to play with the audio settings. I'm thinking.
No, I know what it is. It's connecting to my phone. I don't know why it's connected to my phone, but no, it's good now.
Okay. Yeah. So what were you about to say? Because I couldn't hear you at all. Like, I do apologize.
No, I was just saying like I think it takes a lot of work to like actually be like a content creator. People think it's just like posting videos and being funny and stuff, but it does take a lot of effort, especially if you're editing it yourself. And editing to me is like so it can be so rigorous and mundane. So yeah. But
Okay.
I do see
Yeah.
like what you're doing. I'm like shout out to you because this it's not easy at all. It's very
Yes.
like tedious for
Yes.
sure.
You're right. It is. Yeah. Like I said, my early start, it was a lot different. To where I'm at now. So yeah, definitely, I do appreciate that. Hey, how's it going, Asante? Thanks for tuning in. I do appreciate it. So my next question is, hold on a sec. So question three, has anyone inspired you to be a content creator? Was there any content creators before you started doing YouTube that inspired you or anything?
Mm, I wouldn't say it was one person specifically, probably like collectively,
Okay.
just seeing like because remember like the whole like TikTok ban and people were saying like, oh, go get a real job and all those like wild statements that they would make. But I'm like, content creating is a real job. Like a lot of people, they might have a long day and they might need someone like a virtual bestie to like motivate them, or like someone like I remember I was going through a really bad breakup and it was a specific person like on YouTube. I forgot her
Hmm.
YouTube name, but
Okay.
I felt like she was speaking to me as she was like just explaining her experiences, whether it be like dating and relationships and like finding herself after like heartbreak and how to maneuver through a heartbreak. And I would say like she really helps me kind of get not get over the heartbreak, but see things from like a different like perspective. So I would definitely say that it's not even just like content creating just to put things out there. Like you are reaching like a community of people.
Right.
So yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I would say that too. There were some content creators, quite a couple of them. And then like I guess after a while, like there's one that I still watch from time to time. But originally I wanted to do skits for my channel, and that didn't necessarily work out. So I kind of just like got away from that. But yeah, there's a content creator that does movie reviews. I still watch them every now and then. I don't watch them as often,
You just who
but
reviews?
there was a content creator that I was influenced by a little bit that did movie reviews and stuff.
Oh,
He
movie.
did like yeah, movie and TV show reviews. He even does gaming reviews too. That I came across, and then there were some other ones like RCDC World that does the skits and stuff. I do skits, but not in that sense. Like a lot of them, like here and there, like it's a rare when I do that. So yeah, I have a couple of influences as well.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. You can make money from this. It might take some time, but once you find your community of people, like, yeah, you're set.
Mhm.
And then like it
Yeah,
only takes like that one video. Like the guy, it was someone, it was a person who did like the demure, being very demure. They
uh-huh.
were just like at work and then work was stressing them out and they just said, oh, this is not very demure, very mindful, and that blew up. And there goes like the followers and the brand deals and all that stuff. So it literally just takes that one video. So like my advice is just honestly just keep going, because you never know what video might reach globally and internationally or whatnot, and you can really, yeah, you can make money
Yeah.
from this.
Oh yeah, you definitely can. Yeah, like actually have someone. I mean, we're not as cool as we once were. Like we grew up in the same neighborhood. Um, they're actually making money off YouTube. They have other jobs and stuff, but I guess because maybe they don't want to do completely invest in YouTube. But I mean, they actually are making money off of it now. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I still want to still go back to like a regular job. I don't understand it, but to each his own. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just something
Yeah,
about him. You know, so I was like, hey, that's what's up. But yeah, I do know one person out of my old friend circle. So yeah, so I was like, hey, you're right. You can make money off of it. It's all about your community, and it's all it takes is one video. Yeah,
literally. Those that
so,
get it. And the ones that don't. So,
yeah.
not much.
So I'm looking at the chat. Give me a sec. So I agree. I think consecrating is such a life changing experience. Great connections makes it so lovely. That's true. I completely agree on the
Mhm.
signs on the connections as you can see. Then I got this referral link. I don't know how this came up on the thing. I guess they're trying to get people to use StreamYard. I can't read the rest of it. Yeah, so
But
that
yeah,
was yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
And I noticed like a lot of the connections I do make are with not even like my own like friend. Not saying like my friends is just, but a lot of my friends, they're not really creatives. Like majority, they work
Yeah,
9 to 5s. But I do notice that like it is the support from like strangers that definitely go a long way for sure.
that's true. That's true. Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree with you on that. Definitely true. Strangers. Yeah, I think actually like it was actually a question. You can still answer it later on if you want. There was a time when I started my channel, I didn't really have much of my friends support. Like my other friend that that's a content creator and stuff. Him per se, and then mainly just meeting people at events or just putting myself out there on social media with the channel and stuff. And you'll be
Mm-hmm.
amazed. It'd be strangers that really show you. There was a guy on Twitter years ago. Never knew the guy, none of that stuff. And I mean, when he was reposting my YouTube content, it was crazy. And when people thought I was
Mm-hmm.
paying, I'm like, I'm not paying this man. This man
They
is
just
posting
like
because he
it. Yeah, they're
wants.
just a fan of. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because some people think like, oh, you gonna pay this person money to promote it. I'm like, no,
Mm-hmm.
bro. It's just like, yo, and I don't know what happened to him. Like, it's crazy. But I really didn't appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't have to do that. He just like, oh no, I see you got the video out there. I ain't gonna retweet it or repost it or whatever it is. But he did. Yes, of
Mm-hmm.
course, strangers can definitely motivate you in your sort of community. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what
Yeah,
happened
of
to him,
course.
but I did appreciate that. So that was a cool
Yeah.
moment.
Like, is it that shocking? Like, people could be like a fan or like a supporter. I don't like to say fan. I like to say a supporter or just resonating with people. Like, we resonate
Yeah,
with people all the time, whether that be like at work or someone. I don't know. You might see somebody at the grocery store. They might give you some words of wisdom, or I don't know. It's just, I guess it's just
yeah,
people look at it different when it's like social media, because they think social media is
that's true.
so
Yeah.
fake or but
Well, yeah, I can see why some people feel that way. A little bit, not a lot, but I've seen some of this type of stuff on social media to some degree.
mhm,
So
mhm.
my next question, question number 4. What is your favorite type of content? Because I see you do long form content. See you do short form content. Do you have a favorite one that you enjoy doing with YouTube?
I would say I know they say less is more. I guess it just depends on
Okay,
like the vibe. Like if I'm like recording like one of my podcasts, if I see that the conversation is flowing, then I'm gonna keep it going. But if I see like the person is, short answered or I just feel like the conversation like is good where it's at, then I'll just, stop. It's more so like the vibe. And I feel like people can honestly tell, like viewers, like, okay, they're just stretching it. You know what I mean? Opposed to like it just being like a natural conversation, because I mean, there's a
okay,
difference like when you're inviting somebody on the podcast opposed to like I don't know. Yeah, I guess it
okay,
depends. It just depends.
okay. No, that's a good answer. I'm not gonna lie, it's a good answer. The way you described, it, I'm like, okay, I get where you're
Mhm.
coming from with this. That's like a more organic feel to it versus being disgenuine. Am I right? Is
Right.
that?
Yes, yes. I
Yeah.
like more organic things. Like especially with mine, I want it to be organic. I don't really want it to be like I'm interviewing you. I want it to be like
Right.
we're just having like a conversation, like you're sitting and watching friends talk. Because I feel like when
Yeah.
it's like interviewee, people feel like they have to like present themselves a certain way. And it's just like,
Okay.
no, like you can just be yourself. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's the type of segment that I have. You know what I'm saying? Just be yourself. I ain't doing nothing out of the ordinary. So yeah, I do appreciate that. So yeah, as a matter of fact, when I know, let me just backtrack a bit. When I asked you about the questions and stuff, you were like one of the people like, nah, don't give me the questions. I'm like, all right, all right, you know what I'm saying? And then I had to understand your perspective on it because I was like, all right, maybe she's right. Maybe if I give the questions to you, then it'll be like, all right, it'll look generic, I guess, in a way, or maybe not be as authentic.
It'll be rehearsed.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that's an interesting take on it. When it comes to
Yeah, I definitely don't
answers.
want it to I want it to be more organic because I know if you give me the questions, I'm gonna be trying to memorize my answers and then it's not gonna be authentic, And I don't like
Okay,
that. But that's me
okay.
personally. Like to each their own. Like if that's your thing, that's fine. But for me personally, I don't. I rather just be organic.
No, it made me think about the interview I told you that I did already with another person. Like when they didn't give me the question, I'm like, damn, like, why didn't you give me the question? But then, like when you had mentioned, I said, dang, like you know what? She brought up a good point about that. The neighborhood homegirl. I said, maybe that's why I didn't get the questions. And I was okay with that, So I wasn't like, yo, where the questions at?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because
yeah.
that's happened to me before, like just writing like freelance where I would interview people and they would want the
Uh huh.
questions, they want to see the article before it's published. I'm like, we can't do that. But yeah.
Yeah, that's cool though. Yeah, the reason I asked that be also with the question about the long form and short form, you be doing a lot of short form content. I be saying, I'm like, dang, he be killing it with the short form content.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
I love to
it
do
seems like
like little rants and stuff here and there.
you be dropping jewels, you know what I'm saying? Like little jewels of inspiration and stuff like that. So I'm like, that's
Mhm.
cool too.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's why I asked. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's why I asked that.
What do you prefer?
Um, huh?
What do
Me,
you?
I'm I'm more of a long form content. Form content's hit or miss for me with you. So I'm gonna be honest with you. Props to you. I gotta give it to you. Mad props to you for doing the short form. You found a niche that really works with the short form because I've actually seen other content creators where they have their channel. What I mean is nothing but short form content. That's all they do is nothing but short form content. But you have a nice balance. Like you have your short form content, then you have your, regular content, this video quality.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like some people are just better at really executing shorts really well. And me, it's like hit or miss. And I'm like, man, like what is it? Like I'll have a couple where I'm like, okay, people really like this. Then when I post something else, I'm like, whoa, what's
Right.
going on? So for me, I would say
Yeah.
long form, like streaming that we're doing now, or just regular videos. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, for me, it's that.
Yeah, I get you. It just has to. Usually, when I post that, it's like I'll take like a lot of my videos are me like outside walking, i.e., like the neighborhood homegirl. So I'm
Yep,
walking, and it's just like
yep,
random things that come to my head, and I'm just like, oh, let me just record this because I was thinking about it, or something happened, or somebody did this to me, and I just start talking. So yeah.
correct. Okay.
Mhm.
And then what's nice is the conversational tone is always great. Make it awesome. Yeah, yep. That's what the segment's for, Jasmine. Yeah, I don't try to do no off the wall crazy questions like some people. You be like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? So no,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
try to make people feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? That's
Mhm.
exactly what it's about. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. hmm So my next question, this is interesting because I've seen some of the episodes that you've done for the Neighborhood Homegirl. What is your day
Mhm.
like collaborating with people on your podcast?
What do you mean? Like, how do I how do I find them or?
Yeah, how do you find them and how does the collaboration come to be? Yeah.
Mhm. Well, the first two that I recorded, one of them, the first one that I recorded, episode one, that was with like a
Mhm.
really good friend of mine.
Okay.
So I just asked her, and she's into content too. She does beauty. Um, she's a makeup artist. So a lot of her content, she calls herself like the beauty therapist. So she gives like advice on like finding like your well, I won't go into detail because you probably wouldn't know, but yeah. So
Okay.
she does beauty makeup. Like
Okay.
yeah, I don't know makeup either, but yeah. But
Okay.
so we were just like catching up and stuff. So that was a friend of mine, and then and I knew that she felt comfortable in front of the camera. So that's why I was like, okay, let me ask her because I know it's gonna be, good conversation and we know each other. The second one was
Right.
a friend of a friend and she's a filmmaker. So we were just talking about like our experiences like networking and how to, get yourself in certain doors and etc. And then the last two, it was with a friend of mine and he's an actor and yeah. And the other one was with a guy he throws like events and stuff. So but these are just people that I honestly know that yeah.
Okay. That's
What
good.
about
There's people
you?
that for me, when it comes to collaborating, some of these people I established friendships with throughout networking and stuff, and most of the time, as you can see, it's people that I've met from YouTube. Like most of the collaborations I've done are people
Mhm.
that I may have came across maybe on Twitter, maybe IG. You know what I'm saying? You for a fact, I think you're the first person from Threads, as a matter of fact. So it's
Yeah.
just me
Okay.
finding right. So it's just me finding people and just striking up a conversation. Like, hey, look, I see you do
Mhm.
YouTube content, and if you're
Yeah.
interested in doing an interview or something like that,
Hmm.
I'm that type of person where I'll just reach out, and if you're interested, then I'll just build on the collaboration where we either exchange
Yeah.
ideas or hear what you want to go with for a collaboration, and that's really how it goes. And most of the time, people always ask like, why does it feel so authentic? And it's more so me just asking questions, figuring out what we gonna talk about with a collaboration. And like I said, most of the people have been from social media. Like
Yeah.
it been times I wanted to work with my friend that actually still does YouTube, but we've collaborated in the past, but it's not on YouTube, on Facebook years ago.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, but I just eventually say, you know what, let me just find people that may have an interest. And sometimes I get yes, sometimes I get no, sometimes I get maybe. I've even got ghosted, so you know what I'm
Same.
saying?
A lot.
Yeah, yeah, a
Yeah.
lot. So, yeah.
A lot.
But yeah. So that's a good question that you asked me. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. So let me see. Oh, here's the next one. This one I ask normally. Question number 5. What's the story behind the neighborhood homegirl and Sarita Productions?
Well, Serena Productions, that was my like independent production company. So everything you see on there, I funded myself. Like I found the actors on my own. I wrote like the short films, and a web series. I have like a video where I'm paying homage to like the Fresh Prince. So I have like some of my
I saw
friends.
that. That's
Yeah.
cool.
So that was all yeah, funded by me, which was it was a lot of money. I've taken a break from that because I wanted to come back and do it the right way.
Mm.
Um, because I know, yeah, it could be expensive, especially like if you have to with the whole like acting thing, like union, non-union, it's like a whole like shebang. So yeah. But I
Yeah,
have stuff that I've written and yeah. And then the
yeah.
neighborhood homegirl, that stems from me wanting to like tell stories that resonate with me and share my experiences. And if I want to write about a certain like show that I watched or like music review or just lifestyle pieces, opinion pieces, that's where that stemmed from.
Okay, okay.
Hmm.
That's interesting to learn about your channel names. Mine originally wasn't always my channel name. I started off with a Vicious Brother 101. This is in the era like way before the Blurmatic, where it was gonna be like I did like motivational video quotes. You know how they have the videos where it's just quotes. I kind of grew bored of that. And then I got into an era where I almost did like a channel with friends, and that really didn't pan out to anything. It seemed like every time when I wanted friends, like, yo, let's do something together. We got a video. I'm like, I got a video idea right now. And they're like, oh, I ain't ready, or I don't know what idea. I'm like,
Yes,
what?
yeah.
So,
Hmm.
so eventually, I decided to go solo. And I started to like put out content like during 2018 is when I started to put out content on YouTube after I went solo. I went through a series of channel names, PCS Live, PCS Live exclamation point. I had Charles S Live, and then I had like another channel name too. And then one day it just dawned on me because like some of the people that were my subscribers at the time, I don't know if they still are some of these people. I was going through it. Like my subscribers was just butchering my channel name. I'm like, yo, this not my channel name. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Damn.
I came up with this name. It was like it was hip hop influence. It was like, okay, I was like, oh, Illblurmatic. I thought about Nas's first album, Illmatic. I said, Illblurmatic. I was like, yeah, this is it.
Mhm. Right.
Yeah, so people when I changed the name, I started to see more people come through. It seemed like a lot of people did not care for my old names. They were just like, we ain't buying these old names. And the
Mhm.
new one just there were a lot of people that loved it. There were some people that hated it,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But the channel name was just better. It was just like, you know what? This channel name it's gonna work for me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
for
I'm gonna
sure.
read. Yeah, so I'm gonna read some of the comments. So I don't think nobody ignore me as well. So Jasmine Rome said being ghosted is awful. Yeah, it happens. I love Threads. It's one of my favorite social medias right now.
Yeah,
That's
I
what's
love
up. Yeah,
that
I like.
too.
Yeah, right. Absolutely not at all. As scientist says going solo, I feel like that's the healthiest way forward. Yeah, that was the only choice. Then nobody really want to do it like that. So I said, man, I got to go solo.
No,
Man,
I
sometimes
agree.
friends, right? And then Josh, bro, sometimes friends will hold you back and will be trying to work with them, and then they'll keep putting it off. Yep, that's what kept happening. I kept getting it put
Yeah.
off,
That happens to me
delays.
a lot of times. Like friends, they'll come to me with an idea, and then we'll
Hmm.
start it. I'll put in a little effort, and then all of a sudden it just goes idle. And I'm like, that was like a big waste of my time. Especially being like I'm a creative. So if you come to me with an advice, I'm like, I'm so excited for you because I want you to like start and do
Right.
it. And then we
Yeah.
start it and then you just stop because you think it's too hard or too much work or I don't have the
Yeah.
time. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. I almost had a situation where I almost shared a channel with somebody, and I'm glad I never gave that password up for the YouTube
I did
because
it too.
yeah,
A waste of time. I was like, wow.
yeah, it
You
was
went
a
and bought
waste of
all this
time.
stuff. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I was like, woo. Right, the sign said yes, they can hold you back and for yourself. Stay true to yourself. Okay. Yeah, I'm just reading the comments too. So yeah, but you're right, it happens sometimes. People just waste
Yeah,
your time
they
sometimes.
definitely overthink and self doubt. So
Yeah.
yeah. I'm
So
like,
my
oh,
next
you're
question.
already.
My next question for you, how do you find balance for time? Because I know you have two YouTube channels, so that's something I wanted to ask. I was like, man, you got two YouTube channels going on here. I said, all right,
Mhm. How do I find balance?
yeah, balance of the time, yeah,
Well, I would say like with the first one, the 3D Productions one, that one's idle. So I'm gonna come back to
okay,
that. I just want to make sure that I get my money right because when I what I put out there, I want it to be like I know everything's not gonna be perfect, but I am sort of a perfectionist, and I don't want to put out
okay,
something that I feel like is gonna be corny or it's gonna look low budget. I don't want it to look low budget. Like you can step outside wearing like a basic outfit, but you could put your accessories together and it could look good. So I want it to be like, even if it's not a big budget thing, I still want it to look good.
okay,
So yeah. So I'm more so focusing on the neighborhood homegirl, and building that.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, because I know I actually have come across another content creator that does independent film, and they don't do it anymore. I think they're more into the political side of things now. But yeah, being an independent filmmaker, yeah, props to you on that because I'm sure it's a different type of grind for sure.
It
And it's
is.
dope that yeah, and it's dope that we see more black independent, filmmakers and stuff. I think that's really cool too.
Yeah,
And
for sure. What about you? How do you balance it? Uh,
so for me, sometimes because I know I do post quite often on YouTube. Sometimes you gotta, have a break or just take a little hiatus or something like that. Like I know, I took a hiatus last year, towards the end. Like I did two collaborations in December, and then I got back into doing like I was still doing content creating, but just like collaborating with people back in February. So my first collaboration that I did for consecrating back then was actually February. That was like my very first collaboration. And then at the time, I didn't want it to be like draining, like I'm just tired or just don't feel like I want to
yeah.
do it anymore. And sometimes you gotta take a break, you gotta take a hiatus. So I've been gone for a few days now. So yeah,
I feel
but
like
I
with
use
people.
go ahead.
Oh no, can you cuss on here or no?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I was gonna say like if people fuck with you, they're gonna fuck with you whether or not you take a hiatus or not. Like if they're like supporters and or whatever of your work and stuff, even if you take a month or two off, you come back, If they're like your genuine supporters and they, like I said, they fuck with you, it's not gonna matter. And we're, at the end of the day, we're human. We need humans. We need break. We can't. There's not like a battery that we put in our back every morning and we just go. Like we deal with emotions, mental health, financial things, life, friends, relationships. So yeah,
Right.
that's how I look at it. Because even with people that
Okay.
I watch on YouTube, if they take a break, I'm like, life happens. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I used to have two YouTube channels, by the way, too. Like I used to have another channel, but it wasn't as versatile as the channel I got now. The Illblurmatic, I talk about, like I said, movie news, TV show news, Marvel, DC, gaming, a little bit of everything. And my other channel wasn't quite that. It was more so like, all right, I got a channel that deals to like maybe one or two, three topics, and it was more like dealing with spirituality type of thing. Whereas with Il Blurmatic, it was more so like, all right, this channel, you see it layers, you know what I'm saying? I talk about maybe insight on things, story times, electronic reviews, you name it, it's a variety. It's like peeling an onion back. It's like, okay, we learning about this about the content creator. We learned about the type of headphones you know rock and all this type of stuff. So yeah, yeah. So I mean, the only reason why it didn't last, I don't know if it's more of a like racism thing going on with YouTube, but like I had like 28 subscribers. I'm not gonna lie, I had 28 subscribers. One day I came on YouTube and the channel was gone, literally just gone. Like you couldn't find it. I tried searching for it. I was like,
Yeah,
what the
that's fair.
heck?
I don't. Yeah, the algorithm be algorithm. So I don't know what happened. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
weird.
I don't either. And it had a decent amount of views. Some of the videos had like 15, 20 views, 30 views. It wasn't like it was one view, two views. I can see them saying, all right, no, we gonna cut you off.
Yeah, like what? Yeah, that's wild. That's
Yeah, so I
okay.
just
So
yeah,
you're back to your better. That's all
right.
it is.
I just said, all right, cool. I'm just stick on this one then for right now.
Yeah. Maybe that was
Yeah,
like
but
God, the universe's way of like saying like this is where you need to
yeah,
be.
right.
Hmm.
Yeah. So Jasmine Room said, right. Sometimes people overthink themselves when it comes to trying to create for real. Two YouTube channels, and she said she's proud of you for
Oh,
having
thank
two
you,
YouTube channels
Jasmine.
because I would not be able to keep up. Asante says, for some reason, yes, Sam would struggle with amazing channel. And then just embrace our report for country. Yeah, it is. You'll get burnt out, be tired. For real, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
make sure you take time to recharge for sure. Right. Yeah, I'm just right. People will be waiting for content regardless. You take a break. Yep. Yeah. So
Yep.
I'm just going through the comments and stuff. Yep. But yeah, so like I say, yeah, it was short. It was short lived, but I'm like, okay, well, I stick with my other channel.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. And that, I go off of like signs. I'm like a big signs person, so, or if it's meant to be, not if it's meant to be, but like, I don't
Okay.
know. Sometimes the way like God and universe have a way of like showing you where you need to be. Like, especially
That's true.
if you ask for guidance or something, like, let's say like you're praying, this is just an example. Like, if you're
Okay.
praying for like a new job, right?
Hmm.
And you're praying every day and you're praying every day, but then certain things is happening, like you might lose the job that you have now, you might struggle for a couple months, but in order for you to find that job, in order for you to get that career that you want, God knew that you would have to leave your current situation in order for you to get there. So you would have to
Right.
struggle for a couple months, so that way, like, that will push you and force you to, fill out those job applications and do X, Y, and
Right.
Z. Because
Yeah,
I know
that's
that
so
happened to
true.
me. Like, I'll be praying for something and then like everything would be falling apart. But honestly, it was just like God and the universe was putting it together for me. Because
Yeah,
had I
just
not
like
lost that or let that person go, I would
right.
never have gotten to where I wanted to
Yeah, it's kind of like realigning this, like yeah, realigning
be.
you to
Yeah.
like your purpose and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, definitely true though. Yeah, when it comes to that, like there's signs there, and just paying attention to that type of stuff as well.
Mhm.
That's definitely true.
For sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So my next question, because I said, man, I found out that you're into cinema. I said, man, what are some of your favorite genres when it comes to cinema?
I was thinking like drama, comedy. My favorite shows that I've watched, I would say would have to be like Insecure. I've watched The Shy. Power is like my number one. I love Power.
Oh yeah, Power. Yeah, I like Power too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
What else? Uh, what am I? I do watch reality TV here and there, you know. But yeah.
I don't watch it as much. I used to watch reality TV. I used to watch what was it, Black Ink,
Yeah.
Cribs. Even though Cribs was fake, I'm so mad when I found out
Oh,
that Cribs was fake.
Chris.
Yeah,
Those are Airbnbs. I know. Well, some
you
of them
know,
are. I don't know.
no, they said the only one that was real was Redman. When they went to Redman Crib, that was legit. Everybody else that was written
Yeah,
out.
I watched them a couple times.
Oh, okay, yeah, you gotta see all the other ones. Like the cribs look ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? On cribs, and then like the one episode, they said I think that's when the show got canceled. When they went to Redman Crib, it was his
Mhm.
real house. Like you went through his house, you see how certain areas was junky and just him, like
Yeah,
and he
but
talking
hey,
about the crib.
that's his crib. So,
Yeah. And I used to watch Pimp My Ride, and I was hurt when I
oh yeah,
found that
that
that was fake.
exhibit. Yeah, I used to watch that too. Yeah.
I was like, what? Pimp My Ride? And then what was another show that I used to watch? Cheaters, Cheaters. Yeah, I don't watch certain reality shows. Like I watched I don't know if you heard of Shark Tank. You've heard of Shark Tank before?
Mhm. Yeah, my
Yeah,
mom watches them a lot.
yeah, I'm more so like I still watch reality TV, but it's not like Jerry Springer or Maury, that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's more so like a Shark Tank or like a Black Ink or something like that. I think my favorite reality show, and I hate that they took it off of BET, was probably one of the best reality TV shows. It was unscripted. Was DMX Soul of a Man. Have you seen that?
Who?
DMX Soul of a Man.
Oh no, I've never seen that.
That was the best BET show back in the day. It was unscripted.
I never watched it. I mean, I was a fan
Yeah, it
of
was.
the like 106 in Park.
Yeah.
That's like classic.
Oh yeah,
But and
classic for sure.
Sita's World
Okay.
and
Coliseum.
the Big Tigger in the Basement. Who?
Oh yeah, been singing the bass. Yeah. Coliseum. Did you watch that? Not really.
I didn't watch that, but I did watch the new one that they have like on
They got,
I think it's
they got a
BT.
new. Wow, that's
It
crazy. They got a new one.
was like with I think who was like Stacey Dash,
Wow.
um, Ray J, yeah, some other people.
Yeah, I used to watch Rap City. Like you said, Tig and Big Tig and the was it basement? Was it called that? The basement or something like that?
Big Tigger in the Basement, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, certain reality TV shows. But I watch stuff like Power. What's another show I watched? I watched it's a Netflix show too. I can't think of the name of it. It's
It's
a really good
reality.
Netflix. Not reality. It was based on a true story where this people they got murdered. It was like overseas somewhere, and pretty much the guy was trying to figure out who was the real person behind the murders because he was still around, like
Hmm.
like nothing happened and stuff. And I also watch what is the other show that's on Netflix? I watch Stranger Things. There's another
Yeah,
show
I watched
too.
that.
Yeah, but I think when it comes to Netflix and even the Hulu show where the guy I don't know I haven't finished watching. He's like the bodyguard of the president. And pretty
Oh,
much
dang. What it's with a black guy, right?
yeah, you're right.
I forgot his name. It's like I don't know. But I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about. I know what you're talking about.
yeah. I mean, I like when it comes to genres, I like biopics. You know what I'm saying? It's something about an inspirational story when it comes down to it. Like even the Venus and Serena movie, that was really good. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? What was the other one? George Foreman movie. I like like biopic movies and TV shows.
Okay. I'm
Reality.
not gonna lie. I like drama. I like toxic drama. It's entertaining. Like I like to watch it, but when it's in my life, I'm like, never mind. Like return to sender. But I do like to
Right.
watch it though. I love a
Okay.
little ratchet TV. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I
Mhm.
said, BML. I do like that show, the other 50 Cent show. Then the other show, I hate that it got canceled. I finally got a chance to finish season 2 for life. That was really good. I hate that we didn't get a season 3 for that. I was like,
Mhm.
ah, it was such a
Mhm.
good
Yeah, I
show.
never watched that one for life.
Yeah,
I
it's
was mad when they
it,
canceled Lovecraft Country. Yeah, I was
yo,
mad when they.
yeah, yeah. I
That
was
was
hurt
such
by
a
this.
good show. I was like, what? That's wild to me.
Yeah,
I
it is.
couldn't
And then
understand.
the crazy thing is, Apple don't want to do a season 2 for it. Isn't that crazy?
That's wild. It was such a
It's
good
like,
show with so much history. I'm like, how can you cancel something like that? But then again, they don't want to support us. So,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so yeah, like I said, Lovecraft Country. Like I said, sci-fi. I do like some of the sci-fi stuff, like The Matrix. It's probably like one of my favorite sci-fi franchises. Star Wars, I guess the first two, the last one, is a bit lackluster. Planet of the Apes, Um, when it comes to like other things too, Marvel, DC, I do like the Penguin. That was a really good show. I'm not gonna lie, for it to be a villain show, basically, yeah, that was really good.
did you watch Black Mirror?
Um, you said what now?
Did you watch Black Mirror? It's a new season. I'm gonna watch it.
Oh no, it's out now. No, I got that's one of my favorite anthology stuff. No, I'm gonna check that out probably after the live. Thanks.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was really
yeah,
good.
that was really good. Yeah, Black Mirror.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, like I said, I do like sci-fi. Like I said, Star Wars, Planet Apes, that type of stuff. I do like some of the horror stuff, depending on what it is. I did like Smile. I did see Smile 1 and 2. Um, Annabelle 2, I think was a lot better than 1. 1 was
Mhm.
the Nun.
I'm
That was good.
watching.
Nun. Yeah. So yeah, I
Yeah, I'm
do
not a
tend to like.
scary person. Hmm?
Okay. Yeah, so I tend to be a TV person when it comes to movies and TV shows or just streaming and stuff. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, pop. Yeah.
Yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube.
Okay.
They have they even have like, independent uh filmmakers. They have their stuff on YouTube. I try to go and like support and watch that. Some of it's like pretty good.
Yeah, I saw one. Now that you mention it, speaking on independent filmmaking, there's a guy that's got he doesn't have the full documentary out on YouTube, but he has like the final years of Stan Lee that made a lot of Marvel characters that came out. And it's such a sad documentary because he was getting used, they was abusing him mentally. Like they had him going when he didn't feel like going to promote the toys and stuff. And the guy, the only reason why he was able to put out the documentary, because during the final hours, like before Stanley, before he passed away, he worked closely with him and he saw all the shady stuff they were doing. But he got Stanley's blessings and said, hey, look, man, it's okay if I put out a documentary exposing how the comic book industry, how they're treating you as a comic book creator. You know what I'm saying? And I love that they actually, it's out there, but he wants people to, I guess, maybe watch it on YouTube first in order to put out the full documentary. Because even the guy that created Deadpool, he's even in the documentary talking about how dirty it is too for them to be in that type of industry. Because they some of those characters that we see in those comic book movies, they don't get paid for them. Like Deadpool, I heard the guy that made Wolverine, he didn't get paid that much at all for the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. And same thing with Deadpool. That's when the guy left. He said, screw Kevin Feige. He said, I'm done. I'm not coming back. I was like, oof.
Really?
Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah. So
Mm.
it is some, like you said, some independent, like I guess you say, documentary series, even TV shows and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Even
For sure.
yeah. So yeah, I do watch YouTube. There's one guy. I watched and goes to these abandoned places, and I'm like, as a
Mm-mm.
YouTuber,
Yeah, I don't play
and they,
with the supernatural stuff. I'm not doing that. Mm-mm.
yeah, it was just wild. But he be getting out of there. Like it was one episode I'll never forget it. He went in this one place, and you can see the apparition of the person that may have died there. If he would have went in that room at that time where the door opened, he probably would have been dead. I'm like, bro, and he be by himself. He be filming all this by himself. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
he's
so
very brave because that couldn't be
yeah.
me.
But
Nope.
I knew a girl. I actually knew a person that actually did that here in my state that I used to briefly date, and it was like, girl, you crazy.
Oh, but she likes to go in abandoned places and oh no.
That's what she did. That's what she,
For fun? Mm-mm.
yeah, that's what she. That was her thing. I was like, I'm glad I ain't never had to go. I'm like, I'm glad she never asked me.
Mm-mm. Yes, you might have
I'm like,
come across the crime scene and now you're in jail. Exactly. I feel
yeah,
like
in
with the
jail.
abandoned places, no, I was reading a comment. I feel like with the abandoned like places and stuff, you don't know what's in there. Like I feel like it'd be like looters and people doing like,
Yep,
sneaky
yep,
stuff. I'm not going in there. I'm not going in
yep.
there.
Even
Mm-mm.
homeless people, even homeless people. It was a guy, the one that I be watching on YouTube. He encountered homeless people in a couple of his episodes. Yeah, so yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. It's
Like, oh my
definitely
bad.
dangerous.
Yeah, I'm out. Mm-mm. I'm out.
Yes,
I don't do that type of stuff.
yeah. So I mean, yes, respect to the people that do that's making money off because he making money
Well,
off
yeah,
this. I'm
yeah, that's your niche and like, that's your thing. Go for it. Me, no.
like,
You,
right.
mm,
Yep. Yeah. So that's something else. So my next question, it pertains to I guess film again, but just more so like what are some of your favorite hood movies or black comedy movies
my favorite comedy movies.
or hood movies? Yeah.
Well, I think classic is Friday. It's like a LA.
Okay.
Have you seen Friday with Ice Cube and Nia Long and yeah,
Okay.
like Friday. That's probably my favorite hood movie, hood classic movie. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I guess that's the first one that comes to mind anytime anybody asks me. It's like that's like a classic.
So
What about you?
so for me,
Friday, the Friday
I
franchise.
oh yeah, for me, first Friday forever will be like I can go back watch that over and over and over again. Paid in Full with Cameron, Makai Pfeiffer, and
Mm-hmm.
Woody Harrelson. Yeah, yeah. Paid in Full. I've seen that quite a bit too. Menace to Society. Um, what's another one? Man,
I like
Boys in
Poetic
the Hood.
Justice. Yeah,
Boys in the Hood. And then
Poetic
I like
Justice is really good too. Yeah.
yeah. And then the other one I would have to say when it comes to like I hood movies and comedies, the other one as well I would say Dead Presidents with Lorenz Tate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was really good. Um, what's another one? Dang, it's quite a few. Yeah, so
Yeah, there's
when it
a
comes to
lot.
that,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
trying to think.
And
Yeah, I
then
think. Yeah,
and I forgot one, The Blackening. I did like The Blackening that came out a couple years ago
I
with the
never
board
saw that.
game. You never saw that? Oh man, they got the girl from
Is that a
Empire in
scary movie?
it. The Blackening, and then the other one's One of Those Days. I did like that too. One of those. And that reminded me of Friday a little bit, but just with the woman's perspective on it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And, Sorry to Bother You with Lakeith Stansfield. I did like that too. It's
I
more of a
remember
dark
that.
comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was it the alien? He was it was aliens or something like that.
Well, they're like goats and stuff, and like it was dealing like with capitalism, but like with comedy, but then with like I guess a little bit of realism, and it was more like a dark comedy. Him climbing
Mm-hmm.
the job ladder. Remember, he was trying to
Mm-hmm.
talk in his white voice and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
like the ending like gagged me. I was like, what? I wasn't expecting that, but yeah.
Yeah, and they have like a weird ending. Like, whoa.
Yeah, I was not expecting any of that.
I think it had
Mm-mm.
more to deal with like capitalism, kind of like
Yeah.
how capitalism kind of morphs people into like these, you know. I guess it symbolized that. Maybe that's what they were going at. But yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's cool.
yeah. So, yeah. So let me go to my next question. Give me a sec.
So I have a
So
question for you. Oh, well,
okay,
you can ask me first.
okay,
Oh,
okay.
so I would say, like, what is your ultimate goal when it comes to like your channel and streaming? Like, where do you want this to go?
For me, more so, like I'm just building up my watch hours as I go now with my channel and stuff. Hopefully, me just if I'm able to monetize this year, if I really can, you know what I'm saying, when it comes down to it,
Mhm.
because it does, fluctuate with the watch hours and views and stuff.
For
But
sure.
yeah, just to monetize my channel and maybe try to actually make some money off my channel. Like I said, I enjoy putting out the content that I put out. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that I really enjoy doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, art, I kind of put on the back burner. Like I still enjoy art, don't get me wrong. But
Yeah.
more so, I enjoy just throwing out content, editing it, putting it together, and turning it into a video or a live stream and stuff like that. And like I said, so far, I'm like close to like getting out of the 12,000 watch hours. So
Mm,
I'm
okay.
still, still working towards getting to the next level pretty much. But yeah, just I'm not into it for the fame. I know some people, oh, I do YouTube for fame. Like, I don't really care for the fame aspect of it. But
No, yeah.
yeah, there's
Fame
some
only
people that
lasts
do.
for so long.
Yeah,
I
you
want
know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then the thing
to.
is with fame, it's like who wants to be where people all in their face taking pictures
I don't want
and,
that.
and
I
running
don't
them
want.
down like
I
right. But yeah, that's the ultimate goal. Just like I said, get the channel out there, get more people to check it out and stuff. And yeah,
for sure. Okay,
yeah.
that sounds cool. I just like to ask people that question because some people just do it, just because they just like um talking. Some people do it because they want to tell other people stories. They want to make money, or there could be a numerous reasons. So I always just ask.
No, that's a good question. And like you said, everybody has a different reason for doing it. Some people in it for the fame. Some people ain't really enjoy doing it. Like I said, this became another outlet because at the time I kind of went through like a whole different spiritual path where it was like, okay, I gotta find something to like. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy reading books and stuff, but I needed something else to preoccupy at that time because I really was focused on building my YouTube channel and I wasn't really talking to friends as much. I kind of just like, all this hanging out. Let me just stop for a bit and
Yeah,
kind of get myself out there. So yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, hmm yeah. So
Love that.
yeah, sometimes you gotta go solo and kind of just figure out things along the way. My next question 12, for you is, how do you feel about YouTube constantly evolving as a platform?
Um, I think in comparison to like just technology, now we have AI. Everything is gonna always evolve and like get better, and we're just gonna have to learn to like adapt to that. For a while, people always had things to say about like AI and all that stuff, but now it's like in some in more ways than others, it is very helpful. I mean, you can do a lot with AI. Like even me as like a journalist, when I try to like transcribe stuff, I'll have to literally sit and listen and stuff. Now there's like different tools that I can use, and it transcribes everything for me. I'm like, oh shit! Like I love this shit. Shout out to you. So yeah, I don't have
Okay,
a problem with it evolving. I think like technology is just advancing, just like in science. Like, there was
okay,
some of the stuff that's being done in science wasn't done like hundreds of years ago. And now I can't see myself not having certain things. So I don't have a problem with
okay, okay. I respect it. Okay. For me, it did show me how to be how to be adaptable on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause YouTube constantly changing. You know what I'm saying? Like 1 minute, they updating the comment section, how they do the comment section. Next minute, oh, we're gonna give you the likes or the dislikes, and it's always a constant thing with YouTube. It's not just staying the same forever. It's more so like,
Yeah.
okay, well, they got these new features. They got community tab. I get used to community tab. Oh, they got this shout outs. You can do shout outs. You know what I'm saying? So me, it just gets me to learn to be more adaptable when it comes to
Yeah.
things like with YouTube. And that's something that I said, man, like, I gotta get used to this. You know what I'm saying? Because if I don't, then I'm like, oh man, why I feel this way? It's like, well, I gotta adapt. I gotta be open to evolving and seeing that things are gonna change over time. I remember it was a time on YouTube where you had to have 4,000 watch hours. All you need
Mhm.
now is 3,000 to monetize. You don't need the 4,000. And even you can monetize off of YouTube Shorts now. So it's like,
Yeah,
this
for
is great.
sure.
So it's just
Mhm.
learning how to evolve, willing to adapt. I think a lot of us are kind of stuck sometimes in our own ways. Like, oh no, I like the old way better. Or, I miss when it was like this. It's like, well, you
Mhm.
can't stay the same
You
forever.
gotta grow.
So,
It's like we're growing up. Things are gonna change. We're not gonna be in like
oh
high
yeah,
school. Some people,
yeah,
and it's crazy. Like I know people still stuck in that high school mentality, and they're grown as fuck. I'm like, okay, you need to get it together. Like,
yeah,
what's going on with this?
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
I had to cut off a friend because he thought I was the same person. I was like, bro, that was high school. I'm like, this is a whole different me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Like
I
you
gotta
haven't
put
grown
this.
up yet. Like it's on some Benjamin Button type of stuff. So I'm like, no.
Right. So, yeah, but I mean, I like to adapt into it. Like I said, sometimes the things I like with it, sometimes I don't. But it's just getting used to it, understanding that hey, maybe if they don't like it, they'll change it. So only time will tell.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. But that was a good one though. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my
Mhm.
yeah, so my next question for you is what were some of the challenges that you faced as a content creator?
I would say with people being consistent with me, like
Okay.
as far as like taking me, I would say maybe taking me serious. I feel like with
Okay.
the society that we live in, a lot of people, if you don't have like X amount of followers or this amount of subscribers or this amount of likes, like people won't fuck with you. Um, you could be putting out bullshit and like, not quality content, but if you have a lot of followers, they're gonna rock with you. Opposed to like you really taking your time and growing your channel. I've encountered a lot of people who said that they were gonna like come on my podcast or let me interview them uh for like my blog and my podcast, but it didn't follow through. And these are like people that like when I interviewed them for like other platforms that I work for, they were all for it. Communication was amazing. Then it was time for my stuff. It was just like ghosts, crickets, or oh, I'm so busy. Like, okay. So I would say probably that. What
Yeah.
about you?
Uh, okay. So the challenges I faced, mine some were early on. I'll be honest with you. When I started early on, I was still learning and growing as a content creator. I didn't know how to edit quite a bit and stuff like that. But it's like you said before, people can be wishy-washy on YouTube. I'll never forget it. There was a content creator from here, and I was like, "Yo, I like what you're doing with the content," and then like just got completely ignored. Like it just like what I'm saying. And I'm like, dang. And it kind of at some point in time, I'm kind of glad I never completely went that direction with YouTube. There's some that do where they go solo, where they don't really interact with anybody on YouTube, and they got 1,000 subscribers or more. But I almost got pushed to that because at the beginning it wasn't like a walk in the park. It wasn't pleasant. A lot of people ignoring you or disappearing, like you said, or ghosting, and it's like, like I
Yeah,
gotta
it
go through
sucks.
all this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it did suck. So then, like, it kind of put like a wall there. You know what I'm saying? It was like, man, I remember there were a couple content creators that reached out to me on like Twitter, and then a couple on IG, and they were like, "Oh, I love your content." I'm like, And they're looking, I reached back out to them out of respect, what I'm saying? I could have just been like, oh, I seen it. I'm not replying. But I say, well, let me reply to these people. It's obvious they see something in me that I don't at the time because I'm still trying to figure out, YouTube and stuff. And, one of the people I never got a chance to really work with them, they were like actually the first two content creators I saw from Canada, as a matter of fact. They were best friends and they had a podcast and everything. They were the first people I saw reach 1,000 subscribers. I actually had a dope connection with. I'm like, man, like, when they had announced it, I said, man, congrats, because I didn't, I had never seen nothing like it. I was like, man. And then
Yeah.
the other person, um, I became cool with, they kind of, I guess they stopped doing content. Like for a minute they were, and then, they were still supporting me. You know what I'm saying? There's some other people like that as well too. Even though they don't do YouTube anymore, so it was like, man, it's kind of dope. Like some of these people believed in me, and to a degree, even though my content wasn't, delivered the best, they still was rocking with me and wanted to support me and stuff. And I thought that was really dope, you know what I'm saying? Because they could have just been like, like the other people where they just ignoring me or just act like I'm nothing. And then even with collaborations, I had a collaboration that I thought was really gonna be dope with this one creator, and it became like Tom and Jerry. It was like I'm not about to chase you down for a collaboration. I guess he thought in his mind that I was gonna chase him down. I'm like, bro, either you want to do it or you don't. Like, don't troll nobody for it though. You know what I'm saying? It was like, what type of mess is this? So you know, now it's a lot better than what it used to be, you know what I'm saying? Because I used to just be known, like, to be honest with you, I would come to people live streams and people just like just who I was. I don't know why people love the mystique about me, but they were like, where's so it's like I was like, they asked about me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I'm just supporting your live stream because you hopped on the video or you support the video, you know what I'm saying? But they was like, yeah, they've been asking about you. I'm like, really?
Oh, that's good. Hmm.
Yeah, so I thought it was cool, but yeah, I did struggle with that. I still do get ghosted for collaborations. Unfortunately, there was one collaboration. I never heard back from the person. Like, I said, okay, like, well, let me know when you want to do it. I was like the last message I sent. I was like, okay, well, obviously they don't want to do it. They're just not saying it, but you know what I'm saying? I just took it for what it was and said, well, it is what it is. Most likely it would have been bad. I think I've only had like one bad collaboration. And I found out years later. That's the craziest thing. I
Hmm.
interviewed this content creator. That was a musician. I think he was living in New York, but he lived in Florida or something like that. And I'll never forget, it was the most awkward collaboration I've ever done. Like the whole screen where you're at, the whole screen was black. Didn't see him. And like I'm talking to him, and it was like bro, and then he
Like, are you
gives me
there?
this one,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So then,
Wow.
like when the collaboration ended, like it was okay. It wasn't like my best collaboration ever, but I found out like a couple, like maybe 2 or 3 years later, he's got like 1,000 subscribers, and then he's promising people, and I'm like, nah, this is what you told people, right? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna help my people that help me get my channel out there and stuff. And I'm like, bro, you ain't helping nobody. None of the people he said he was gonna help, he did not help them. He was just completely selfish,
Right.
self-absorbed. I'm like, I said, boy, he's got a whole ego thing going on.
Just all talk. Yeah.
Yeah, so I never
That's
worked with
very
him again.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
would
never
never.
worked
You would never get a second chance to fuck me over. Yeah.
right,
No. Mm-mm.
right. So I just said no. Because he asked me about me, like, bro, we should work together again. I'm like, I looked at it, how Instagram say see?
Mm-mm. Yeah. No. No, thank you. I have
Right?
PTSD from being like ghosted and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
mm-mm.
So yeah. So I got. Let me see. my next question kind of does deal with something we already talked about. But if you want to pass on, we can. Uh, have you ever been ghosted on a collaboration on YouTube?
I wouldn't say they ghosted me. I would say it was just a bunch of bullshit. They were beating
Okay,
around the bush a lot, so I just like this ain't going nowhere. So yeah.
okay, okay. Yeah, I've
Mhm.
been ghosted. I've had a couple different ones. There was one person a while back, and it was the craziest thing. They were telling me like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do a collaboration together and stuff." And what happened was, it was weird. It was like the universe was letting me know, like, "Hey, something's up." Like he lied. This person lied to you. So randomly, I get on YouTube one day, and like, I was like, "Yo, I've been asking, I've been asking to work with them and stuff." And what happened was, suddenly I get on YouTube. You know how YouTube shows a timeline, like videos and stuff. And I looked and I said, "Oh." I said, "Wait a minute." This person told me he wouldn't collaborate with nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was like, "Yo, like they lying." You know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to address it because I'm like, "You the person that lied about it. I saw it on my timeline. Now I'm looking at you different because you're telling me, oh yeah, we're gonna do something together." Da, da, da. But I see a couple other collaborations you've done with other YouTubers on their channel. Isn't that crazy?
Hmm. Yeah.
I,
The
yeah,
audacity is literally the audacity of people.
yeah. I was
But I
like,
just learned it's just a learning lesson, and now you know who to work with and who not to work with.
yeah, yeah. That's really what it boiled down to. Yeah, it just was like, yo, like literally, I just went on YouTube and it just showed, and I'm like, I looked and said, hey, that's so
Yeah,
and so.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I think some of the collaborations that I got ghosted on worked out for the best. I think some people weren't as serious or didn't make the time for it. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes people, I know for me, people think I'm gonna ask like all these super controversial questions. I'm like, I'm not here for that.
Mhm.
Like, I just want to ask just regular,
Yeah.
yeah, I just want to ask
Yeah.
regular questions. I ain't asking about who you scammed or when you did this and all that other crazy stuff. Like, no, I just ask general questions. I'm not trying to figure
Right.
out, trying to see your life like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
And it's like if you got that much dirt or whatever, like you shouldn't be. Yeah, you shouldn't be collaborating with anybody if you're that afraid.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I was just like, man. Yep. So yeah, collaborations, yeah, definitely been ghosted, but I think some of them were just meant to happen. Unfortunately, it'd have been dope to see where some of them could have went, but oh well.
Oh well. Exactly.
Right.
Oh well. Exactly.
Yep. So let me see. So I got a question. This is my bonus question. Do you have a favorite film project that you worked on?
Probably my web series. It's called Best Friends with Benefits. I really enjoyed filming that
Okay.
one, and the people in it, like, yeah, I love them down. Like, they're very supportive. So yeah, probably that one.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. That's what's
Hmm.
up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully I get to revisit filmmaking soon.
Okay. So my next question, question 16, do you prefer film making, writing, or acting? 'Cause I see you do a bit of everything.
I prefer film. I prefer writing.
Okay.
Like filmmaking. You said filmmaking or writing?
Yeah. I would
Yeah,
say
writing. I love writing. I
writing.
love creating characters. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
okay.
that's my baby. So hopefully I get to
Okay.
revisit that soon.
Okay. That's what's up, right? Okay. I'm surprised you didn't say acting. I seen you do the acting in
Oh
the
no,
first
yeah,
person.
no, that's hard. Mm-mm.
So
So
memorizing the
that's
lines, huh?
Yeah, once that camera says action, I'm like, oh, okay. But no, I love writing. I love being behind the scenes, but I do like a popping out some here and there. But yeah.
So you're
Mhm.
more of a what is it, a cameo actor, right? Just make a cameo, just here and there, like a Stan,
Here and
like a
there,
yeah, like a Stan Lee here and there, just a couple little scenes and then disappear.
pretty much, yeah.
Okay,
Yep, exactly.
yeah. But you know what? Cameo actors get paid a lot of money. I think I want to say Stan Lee, Samuel L. Jackson. There's some like they have like the highest paid cameo actors, and they're like probably the top three, top four. Yeah,
hmm
that's crazy. They make a lot of money just to do a couple cameos, then go. That's what's up.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
I just love
Yeah.
creating things. Would you ever
Yeah.
act?
I do skits every now and then. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's kind of a form of acting. So every now and
Yeah,
then
it is.
I do. Yeah. So, me just getting in front of the actual tablet, just doing the skit for it. So I've done, like I said, a few skits here and there. One of the skits I had from TikTok that I actually did pretty decent on YouTube. To be honest, I was like, wow, like it wasn't really picking up traffic on TikTok, but when it came to YouTube, I'm like, dang, they really it was supporting. I was like, dang, they're like, oh, yeah, it's just a skit.
hmm
Like, yeah, you can
Yeah.
relate to it, but yeah, so yeah, I guess acting, what I'm saying, to it when it comes to it. But yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for asking.
Of course.
Yeah. So my next question has something to deal with networking. Why do you think networking is important when it comes to growth?
Why do I think who?
Networking. Why is it important when it comes to growth?
I feel like sometimes it's about who you know opposed to like what you know. Sometimes you just, in order to be in certain doors, to get into certain doors, you definitely need to know certain people. So I would say it's definitely important. I definitely advise people to network as much as they can, whether it be virtually, in person. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good
hmm
perspective on it.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely about who you know a lot, unfortunately, but
yeah, because I honestly think to some degree networking slept. I don't know why I slept on. I don't know. I guess maybe some content creators feel that way, but I really don't. You know what I'm saying? Like with networking, I think for me, when the pandemic came around, I mean, I was like on Twitter like crazy, IG, just trying to find people that wanted to check out the channel, support and stuff. And I remember it was another older content creator, and he had gave me like some life changing advice. It was like, how do you say? It said, oh, you're gonna have to put the hours in. And like when he first said it, I'm like, what did he mean by that? You know what I'm saying? Like put the hours in. And I guess I eventually realized like, oh, he's talking about networking, you know what I'm saying? Just interacting with people, joining people's live streams, checking out their videos, they supporting back type of thing. Um, and he also told me for him, this guy, I don't even know if he's still a YouTuber or not, he took off like 3 months off work to monetize his YouTube channel. I was like, yo,
wow,
yeah, and he actually did it. That's the craziest thing. He's
excellent.
like, yeah.
hmm
I was like, wow, like that's dedication. Like you took 3 home, and then I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like he was that married and everything. I was like, wow, bro. Like, yo, why if it's a ride or not for real? Like,
I was like, I mean, yeah, but we still gotta pay bills. But
yeah,
go
I
off.
think he had. Yeah, I think he had another hustle. Probably, because he was a New York cat. He probably had like another hustle.
Yeah, yeah, yes,
Yeah.
for sure. But I mean, yeah,
But
that makes me happy.
yeah, I thought it was dope though that he kind of put that in my mind. I was like, man, like that's what he mean by network. And I think the other thing with networking too is just making genuine connections with people. You know, so I think sometimes I get it. It is social media after all. You're gonna have some people that have this artificial way of interacting with you, but then you have the people that really rock with you. You know, what I'm saying they're really genuine and stuff. I guess it's just picking up on people's energy. Like, okay, this seems fictitious or fake, and then you can kind of tell who's really engaged by how they respond to you, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And me more so, like a lot of people probably don't know, like I've done way more networking online. I do here and there. When I go to some events, I do try to network there, but it doesn't necessarily really help. I've had more luck on just, putting it out on social media. Like, hey, look, I got this channel, come check it out. You know what I'm saying? Versus me maybe giving you a card or telling you about it. Because I think sometimes it's like people don't connect with the physical interaction, I guess. And maybe so once they see what you're doing, like I remember this one guy that checked out my channel, like me explaining it to him, he wasn't really like getting it, you know what I'm saying? But once he saw the actual page, he's like, oh, I see what you're talking about now. Versus me just like, hey, look, here's my card. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was a interesting engage. You know what I'm saying? Him engage coming back when he saw me out at the mall, like, yo, I love what you're doing with the channel. I'm like, hey, thanks, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Versus like, him being like, mad about it. It's like, okay, well, maybe he didn't understand me showing the card, thinking like, okay, but once he went to the actual channel, I guess he was like, oh, I'm interested. I want to check it out. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but never.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then networking opens doors, like you said, where you could come across other content creators. That's how I've come across other content creators through other people sometimes. Like, there's one person like, yo, I know so so. I'm like, okay, cool. Let me know, and I, try to see if I can follow them or and stuff like that. So, yeah,
Yeah, word of mouth definitely goes a long way. So
yeah,
yeah. People put you on to
okay,
different opportunities and stuff. Um I've that a lot of people for certain things they always come to me, whether it's like, oh, like, to write like a press release or like a bio or something. So it's always good to have people looking out for you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I even actually had interaction with a subscriber. I mean, I hope it happens. If not, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it, but. They wanted me to work with another content creator. I threw it out there. And I said, look, I already threw it out there. Let them. I want to work with them, but I ain't like trying to force nothing. You know what I'm saying? If I do hear back from them, cool. If I don't, so
Vibes are
be it.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I
Vibes
mean,
are
they yeah. So it was dope though because they actually reached out to them. And I'm like, dang, like I had never
right.
had that happen to me where they just like, you know what I'm saying? But I've had with my community, I've noticed some things where I'm like, okay, cool, okay, this is different. But that right there was definitely a cool moment. I was like, wow, I never thought he was going to just be like, hey man, I'll see what I can do. And I'm like, hey, this is really cool. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yes,
Exactly. It's all about building your community,
yeah,
and finding like your people,
yeah,
essentially. And those
yes,
are the people that's gonna, hold it down for you, even
yeah,
if
yeah,
you fall off, take a break.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with my other podcasts I had kind of went a different direction. People were still supporting, like, what I'm saying, me wanting to come back and still do this actual segment. So yeah, I was like, okay, I'm like, yeah, it ended, but things happen for a reason. I said, yeah, it's time to move on. So
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Agree.
yeah, yeah. So let me see. Hold on a sec. So this is a good question. What are some things that you dislike about YouTube?
Dislike?
Yeah. Is there anything that you dislike or maybe you don't like at all?
I mean, I guess I essentially think that once you figure out the algorithm, you're good. The time,
Okay.
like, because it's like it's a it's a process to this. Like, you got to figure out the algorithm, what days are best, what time, like all that stuff matters. What hashtags to use, thumbnails.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, YouTube has been cool. I haven't really posted on YouTube as much. That's why like a lot of the shorts that I have, those are from TikTok. And I just
Okay,
put
that's
them.
what's up.
I just put them on, yeah, on YouTube. But yeah,
Nah, that's what's up. You out here recycling the content. That's what's up. For real,
yeah.
like
I'm
so.
the type of person like you don't see me in this outfit again. I'm not about to just wear it one time. Like no.
No,
Mm-mm.
that's what's up though. Like for real. I think my dislike, and this is something that I've been seeing like probably for quite a while. There are certain content creators, and I think this is it. This is really bad though, where some of these people monetize right their YouTube channel, but they forget about all the people that helped them along the way, commented on the videos, liked the videos. But when the shoe is on the other foot, when it's my turn or maybe another person's turn, they forget about them. And that's something that I do see very often. Like I had a situation where Country was really cool. You know what I'm saying? Like at the beginning, I thought things were really cool and everything. I'm like, all right, this is personally. I'm like, okay, no, I'm gonna check out your channel, support. But then it started to get weird when they monetize. Like their whole demeanor changed. They weren't
Mm.
really supporting the people that they're supposed to be supporting. This has happened to me quite a bit, and I'm like, why is it like that with some creators when they monetize, they get this whole new brand new attitude or whole brand new mentality? And I'm like, now you remember all these people helped you because I even seen there was a young lady, I'll never forget it. She was trashing all the people on her live stream that supported her channel. Guess what happened? They shut her channel down. It
Yeah.
went from,
Bye.
yeah, she was being a Grinch. She was calling everybody out, and we were supporting her channel, and she was just being was super rude about it. I'm like, how are you super
It's kind of
rude?
like
You
with
support?
TikTok when they do like those TikTok lives and they be forcing people to like give them gifts. I'm just like, you can't force
Yeah,
people to give you gifts. Like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the one thing I dislike about YouTube. Like some people do change once they monetize. The other thing
yeah,
is the pay. The other thing that I would say too that is kind of a bit of a problem I see, and I'm not knocking nobody to do the paywall. So when you see the live stream, don't come for me. But there are some content creators that expect you to literally, when they put up this membership thing, which is a paywall, they want you to automatically just be a pay. Well, remember, everybody don't have that type of money. So how are you forcing this on your content creator community when you didn't have it originally? You know what I'm saying? Once you monetize, now you got this paywall. And I experienced that with another content creator. I was like, now you want people to pay, and you barely been putting out content after you monetize. That's the craziest thing. So you're
yeah.
getting paid off aged content that's been out for 3 or 4 years. Why do we have to go behind a paywall to stick by you? And I think they deleted me too. Okay.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying, on YouTube or either blocked me one of the two, but yeah, it was just the weirdest thing. I'm like, why? Like, why are you so fueled by money? Yes, you want to make money off YouTube, right? But you can't just force people to be under a paywall.
No, that's not how it works.
Yeah, so those are some of the things I dislike about it. It's like, man, it's crazy to see some of these people do that, especially if you've been with them for like maybe 4, maybe 5 years, maybe even more than that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think they should have an option. Like, I love that there are some channels like, hey, look, you don't have to do the paywall, but you can, still watch my content, but you have to watch the stuff that's not behind the paywall. So yeah, some
Agreed.
people, yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm. For sure.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah,
It's cool to have, get monetized for it, but also like don't forget where you came from. You still got to put stuff out there because I'm not gonna watch the same videos over and over.
yeah. That person actually probably out there. Yeah, I've been unsubscribed. I'm like, yo, let me just unsubscribe. I see where you going with this. You gonna milk it as hard as you can.
Yeah, that's cool, but yeah,
Right.
mm-mm.
Yeah, so that's the thing for me. Now, my next question is something I never really asked anybody, so this is kind of a new question. Was there an era of YouTube we thought would never fade? Like, say, for instance, like the era with like mukbangs, what is that, prank videos, or whatever era that you came up in with YouTube that you thought would never fade?
That's already faded?
Yeah,
Maybe like the I mean, I guess like the couples channels.
right.
I feel like those are kind of like because now like it's cool to watch them, but as you grow older and you start to realize like this shit is kind of it's fake. Like, you know, the
Yeah.
pranks and stuff like that. I would say that. I don't watch those anymore.
Hey, we on the
Mm-mm.
same page. I was like, yo, bro, I ain't never asked that question, man. Like, this might be a good one. Yeah, the couple, man, I came up in that era. I was like, man, like, is there room for people that's not a couple?
And some of them aren't even a lot of them aren't even really
Yeah,
together. They really dislike each other, but they're staying together because they feel like they make more money as a brand than they would separately. So
you
then
the
it starts
illusion of it.
in the content. It's reflecting in what they're posting too. So
Yeah, it's like the illusion of it. You right.
mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. Yeah, the illusion of it. My bad. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, the illusion. Yeah,
Mhm.
because
Yeah,
I remember when
exactly.
yeah, 'cause when I came up, that's a lot of the channels. That's all I really saw, man. I'm like, dang, is it any other people that's just doing content like I am, or just different type of content? And it's like, man, you had the YouTube couples where it's just the husband and wife, or boyfriend and girlfriend and a kid, or the two kids and the girlfriend and boyfriend, or baby mama, baby daddy, and stuff like that. And I just was like, man, like I know this ain't the only thing in the algorithm. I
Yeah,
said,
no, I don't watch those anymore. Mm-mm.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
and
starting to
so
like fade away. It's more so like I don't know, like vlogs and like
yeah,
reviews and stuff like that. Those are
yeah,
like more so some of like the content that I enjoy watching. Yeah.
okay,
Authentic,
yeah,
like everyday life, advice,
okay,
what is personal stories.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then the other one I
Mhm.
would say that I came up in, which kind of died down, is pranks too. It seemed like the prank channels. I think once people started getting hurt for real, that kind of
Yeah.
faded as
Bye.
well. It was like,
I don't want to see
that
a
was,
prank. Too old for
so,
pranks. Like, why are you pranking me? Like, yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
those are
so
played out for sure.
yeah, I think it was like, yeah, it's time for y'all to come fade away for a bit. So yeah, those two. Hey, that was a good one. I'm glad I asked you that one. Because I said,
Hmm.
man, I'm gonna ask this one. I ain't never asked nobody this one before.
Exactly. It's just script. You can tell, like, especially like me, if I was with somebody and I knew that we produce like pranks and like, whatever,
Yeah,
automatically I just feel like I'm gonna just be in like go mode. I'm like, you have a camera hiding around the house somewhere. Like, I expect this from you. So it's like it's not even funny or authentic anymore. Now I'm faking my real reaction.
right. Yeah,
So yeah,
that's a good one.
I don't get it. Mm-mm.
So my next question for you, what advice would you give someone starting YouTube?
Keep going, be consistent. Um, I would think number one is just believe in yourself.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
good one. That's a real good one.
yeah, believe in yourself and believe in the content that you're putting out there. And if it doesn't feel right, just don't post it. You know what I mean? Like, because I see a lot of people, they just be posting like just, it seems like they're just like posting stuff that's in their like their drafts and stuff. And you know what I mean? Like, I mean, yes, consistency is key, but also like quality is also key too. So, like I
Okay,
would say definitely, yeah. Be a
okay.
number one
That's
supporter. Even if people don't believe in you, even if your video gets like 5 likes, keep
right.
going.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. I definitely would say there's no such thing as no overnight success. And I think a lot of us get in this mode like, oh well, I did a couple videos, I'm an instant success now, and it's like, nah, you really gotta get better at editing. You gotta get better at editing and all the different things, even thumbnails maybe. The other thing too, I would say is it takes time for things to take off. I think the first video, I don't even have the video anymore because I deleted it. that blew up on my actual channel was the actual voice actor that I did on Dragon Ball Z, or was it Dragon Ball? No, Dragon Ball Super. The scandal that he had, that was like my big video at the time. And it took a while. Like I did other videos. Okay, yes, 20, 30 views, 40 views. That one I think reached like maybe 400, 500 views at the time. But
Mhm.
at the time, that was the one video where it's like, man, okay, this is the big one. But then after that, I had to realize, like, okay, well, some videos don't take off, some may take time to take off. And the other thing is, like you said, big thing is believing in yourself. Because you really, yeah, your subscribers can believe in you, of course, but you gotta believe in yourself too. You gotta be your biggest motivator. So, and then like you said before, with certain videos, if it don't feel right, don't put it out. So there's something you gotta think about too. Like, do your audience really want to see these? Do they really don't want to see this type of thing? So it's kind of figuring out, should I put it out? Should I not put it out? And
Mhm.
yeah, those are some of the things. And then realizing that what's the other thing I was gonna say? Pretty much that you gonna get there. You just gotta keep going and just figuring out what works for you. I know for me, I talk about a multitude of things. There's some people that stick to like a particular niche, so you just gotta find what really works for you when it comes down to it. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Agreed.
yeah, yep. So yeah. Oh, okay, so my next question for you, I'm gonna pass on this, but I already asked you this already. Um, what is the dopest milestone that you accomplished as a content creator? Whether it's your new channel, your old channel.
Mm, I mean, I would say in general, probably just being in front of the camera, to be honest, because I'm like I said, I'm not like a behind the scenes. I'm a behind the scenes person. I'm not in front of the camera person. But now I feel
Okay,
more comfortable talking on camera,
okay,
opposed to before you couldn't get me to do it. But now I'm like, yeah,
okay,
cool. I still get
okay,
nervous, but
okay,
yeah,
okay. So you're more of a introvert, right?
it depends. It depends on the
I'll say it.
situation. It depends on where I'm
Okay,
at. It depends on who I'm around. I like to
okay,
read the room before because a lot of people aren't gonna be, used to a certain type of person or whatever. So yeah, I definitely just read the room for
that's a
sure.
good thing. That's a really good thing. Yeah, that does. It does help reading the room. I had to do that in my work environment due to a situation. And I was just like, no, the energy was in there. It was bad. I'm like, no, I ain't coming in there. I was like, oh no,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. So yeah,
For
definitely.
sure. Yeah. So yeah, I
That's
would just say that. Definitely being
okay.
in front of the camera. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's a good answer because, like you said, you like to be in the behind the scenes. So that's a
Yeah.
good one. For me,
Yeah.
I would say
Mm-mm.
the dopest milestone that I had. I did a music reaction. And I need to get back into it. I see like people do like that now. I have to be careful because YouTube come with these copyrights. So when I look at some of the music, I'll make sure that it won't hit me with the copyrights or anything like that. I did a Mortal
Mhm.
Kombat reaction to the new song, the old song. They took it down. They hit me with the copyright. They're like, "Oh no, you can't
Mhm.
react to this." But that one actually took off. I think that was the first video that actually had 1,000 views on, like literally, like And I was in my room at the time. I was like, oh, yeah, this was Mortal Kombat, soundtrack to the new movie that was kind of terrible, but I mean, it was definitely surprising. Like, man, and to this day, it's still taking off. Like, it's still people still going to check that one out. And then the other one I would say is the Blade and Avatar videos that I've did so far that are actually doing good. I think the Avatar one, it gets some hate because I didn't really care for the live adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I was like, this live adaptation, it's not good. And then with Blade, so yeah, those were some dope ones for me.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so, yeah. So my next question for you, and this is probably pertaining to your other channel, was reaching 1,000 subs a challenge for you?
Who?
Was reaching 1,000 subs a challenge for you?
Yeah, I haven't reached. Oh, like with my other channel, the my
Yeah.
production channel did reach. It got, but that's because I had someone that I knew at the time reviewed my short film like on her channel, and she had a lot of subscribers, so they came to mine.
Oh, that's
So
what's up. So they did what do they call it on Twitch? They did a raid. They came to your channel from over to her channel. That's what's up. I
mhm,
never,
mhm.
I yeah, that's dope. Yeah, you know what? I had someone do that where they did something with one of my videos and I couldn't get people to come back. I'm like, what the heck? Like, they're like, yeah, we're gonna raid. I'm like, what is a raid? You know what I'm saying?
I've never heard of
And
that.
yeah, well, on Twitch they call it raid. Like when someone comes to someone else's channel and
Oh,
check
I
out
don't
and
know.
support their. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the term. That's the term they call it. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
I thought, I'm like, oh, okay, let me see if they, I'm like, some people came through, but it really didn't work out like that. I think for me,
Mhm.
1,000 subs, it was a bit of a struggle. For me, I know there were like 3 weeks I was on Twitter, and literally, I would be close. Like 1 minute I'm at 998 subs, 994 subs, then 1,000. Then it go back, and it's like, oh my god. But eventually, I kind of knew I was gonna eventually reach 1,000 subs. It did take quite a bit because, like I said, the channel that I have, I do a little bit of everything. 'Cause I'm a variety content creator. Um, but yeah, once I reached it, I was like, man, this is crazy. Like, but I already had a video, since some of my videos were already doing really good. But it really felt good to see that I actually, all that effort, me pushing it out there, people supporting it, and even retweeting it and stuff as well. That really worked out for me. So I was glad to see that hard work the effort and me
Mhm.
just pushing on despite, every now and then it was getting knocked down. Like, okay, and then eventually it's like, oh, it reached 1,000, so yeah, you really gotta, believe in yourself
Yeah,
and like, put yourself out there, and then sometimes, people just don't unsub, that's just the reality of it. Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, people are gonna unsubscribe, unfollow, and all that stuff. I try not
Yeah.
to take it too personal. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
"Mm, okay, it is what it is. I
Yeah.
don't know the reasons behind it, but mm, mm,
That's true. Yeah, you're
yeah.
right. You don't have people
You
that
lose
unsubscribe
one, you
and
gain 10.
right. Then that may room for other people that may have interest in your channel. So that's definitely a good way
Exactly.
to look at it. Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah. So my next question is what um what makes you a unique content creator?
Unique.
Yeah.
I would say there's something unique in every one of us.
Okay.
We're all
That's a good
different.
answer. That's a
Yeah,
good
like
answer.
there's nothing. Yeah, I would just say like it could be someone who is a gardener somewhere in like I don't know where is there a garden at in Kansas? I don't know. Like there's something just
Okay.
unique about it. They could just post themselves just gardening and stuff. Like I think it's once you find your niche and what you really enjoy, other people
Okay.
will kind of like gravitate towards you. You know.
Yeah,
Cause it's
that's
like when you're putting
a
out
good answer.
content that you actually and people can tell when it's like bullshit. Like, oh, she's just posting this because she feels like she has to post something. Opposed to like you posting it authentically because you really enjoy that, you know? And those are the type
Yeah.
of people that I want to like subscribe to me and watch my stuff. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a really good answer. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, we're all unique in our own way. Yeah. Even with YouTube, I've seen content creators that do the SMRs where they scratching on stuff. You got the ones that do the music. You got the ones that do
ASMR.
plants. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Meditation, all types of different avenues. And I've even seen some that were very odd as well. But there's an avenue for it, even though it's a unique way to go about it, though.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
I agree.
definitely. That's
Yeah, you just gotta
nice.
find what you just gotta find what you enjoy. And then the
Yeah,
people that enjoy that same thing, like,
yeah,
mm.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I notice like with
Um,
mine, like when I give unsolicited advice, people like that.
right.
Sometimes they need to hear that.
Okay.
Because I know I've been scrolling on social media and I'm like, dang, I needed to hear this. It's like they were, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. So my next question for you: what is next for you as a content creator? What's the next thing that you got going? Like, what is a project or another type of series of videos? Anything you got going on?
Well, I'm currently in the process of getting the last two episodes for my podcast edited. So I'm gonna release that. I'm
Okay.
gonna just keep going. I'm gonna get out in the neighborhood. I'm gonna try to go to like some black owned businesses and black owned entrepreneurs and black owned creatives and go and like, get in their element, whether it be like someone who's like a yoga instructor, someone who owns like a clothing line and just, talk to them about that. Yeah, I
Okay.
think
That's
that's
what's up.
probably next for me.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah.
Yeah, what
Definitely.
about
Yeah.
you?
It's just trying to get new people to collaborate with. As well.
I guess
Probably get
that's
some people to
yeah.
yeah, and also to get people to return as well if people want to return to collaborate type of thing as well. Um, I got another idea for a podcast, but I guess I'm just still searching for maybe like the person to want to do a live stream. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing about that. You have
Mhm.
dope ideas, but is it something a person's going to gravitate towards? Um, but other than that, yeah, that's about it. I mean, I do have, I guess you could say, a new series of videos. I got I've done a fandom video for like different types of fandoms. It could be Marvel, DC, anime, sci-fi, video games. But it's not just one fandom in general. And then the other ones I have, excuse me, it's like a let's talk type of video thing that I've been doing. I've done two videos so far. I'll probably have like a third or fourth video coming. Probably a third video maybe sometime this month. But other than that, that's about it.
Yeah, sounds good. Keep going.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So that's pretty much for that. And my last question, this is a good one. Do you consider yourself more a content creator or influencer?
Ugh. The, I mean, I wouldn't say influence. I would say it's a mix of both. I'm not trying to influence. When I think of influencer, I'm thinking of people that's trying to influence people. I don't know, but maybe it's different. I don't know.
Okay,
I would say,
okay,
I don't know. I would say I'm more so like I just want to be people's homegirl. Like, I want to give off homegirl energy because people always say I'm their favorite friend, of course. So I'm like, oh, okay,
that's
let me
what's
be my virtual bestie. Like, I don't know, like,
up.
let's just sit and talk about life. Like, why? No, everything doesn't
Okay,
have to be so serious. We can like cackle and kiki a little bit. I don't know. I would just say a mix of both. I would say I'm just being myself and just creating content.
okay. No,
I
that's a
mean, you
good
can be in
answer.
a
That
place, yeah. But
okay.
I
That's
don't
no,
like to say
that's
that I'm either.
no,
I'm
that's a
just
good
very
answer though. Yeah, no, that's a good answer though. I respect the answer. Like when you said, I'm like, okay, this about okay, yeah. And then you're your own person, like you said. So that's pretty cool.
yeah, like literally
I
when you
was
watch my videos, that's literally how I act. Like in real life.
yeah. You seem like you have like a down to earth personality. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's more definitely.
Thank you.
For me, I would say I say more so concentrated, but I do see influencer when it comes to like maybe people checking out movies or TV shows and stuff like that. And maybe some of the snack reviews I've done. Because that's also another thing that I've been doing too. But I say more for content creator, but somewhat maybe influencer, maybe when it comes to there are people that said they checked out anime because they're like, yo, you mentioned these anime or some, they may have came across anime that they like, and I'm like, oh, that's what's up. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? They reached out to me, said, hey, I checked out anime. Thanks to you. I'm like, oh,
Right,
okay.
right. Yeah,
So
of course.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you
So
said you're a mix of both?
yeah, I would say more so concentrated, but I can see influencers too, but just more so maybe like a
So
movie and
yeah,
TV
you're
show.
influencing people to watch anime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep. Marvel DC stuff too as well, and even some of these movies and TV shows. So yeah, yeah, and even
Yeah, of
snack
course.
reviews. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, snack reviews, yeah. I love a good snack.
you're right. Yeah, because I seen yeah people did take a liking to that. They're like, oh man, that Milano cookie. I said, yeah, it was good. 'Cause I'm not really a white chocolate person when it comes to cookies. I'm like, I hope this is good. But with the
Hmm.
coffee and the caramel kind of blending in with the flavor of the cookie, it set it off. I was like, that's a good cookie, but I was kind of
Hmm.
worried.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
But
right.
yeah, but this is it. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for working with me. I do appreciate it. Neighborhood home girl, I really do appreciate this stuff.
Thank you. I
Is
appreciate you having me.
oh yeah, yeah. Is there anything that you want to shout out anybody or anything in general?
Just shout out to everybody who's out here, striving for their goals and putting in the work and the money and the time and effort. Like it's not going to waste. Like a lot of times, at least with me, I'll be like, oh, like I'm wasting money on, but it's not a waste. It's like you're actually putting in effort and all this energy into something that you believe in, and yeah, just to keep going. The right people are gonna find you. Your people are gonna find you. Don't listen to the
Yeah.
naysayers because they're not doing what you're doing. So yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
Okay. Well, this is episode 15, and like I said, guys, thanks to the people. I'm gonna let the people that scroll through. I know I've been like flipping on that. Thanks, Jasmine Rose, for tuning in. Also Asante. Then the people that were lurking, I don't know who was lurking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I saw some
Thanks
of
to
the
all,
comments.
yeah. So thanks to all the lurkers out there. And like I said, episode 16 is coming. I just don't have a person just yet, but hey, you never know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, you're welcome, Never Homegirl. I do appreciate it. Until next time, guys. This is it. And I'll leave your link, you know what I'm saying, for your channels up on the pin
Yeah,
comment so they can check you
for
all out
sure.
as well. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, thanks for wanting to do it. I appreciate it. And taking the time to learn this. I do appreciate that as well.
Yeah, of course. This is new for me. I've never done this ever in my life.
So. But
Like
you
that's how I
figured it out.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I figured it
you,
out.
you did.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I asked you
Yeah.
like, I'm like, yep. So,
Well, thanks again.
yeah, thanks. Yeah, and have a good weekend. Yep. And let's do
You
this again if
too.
we can. Yep.
Yeah, of course. Do I log out or how does
Yeah.
it?
So
Okay.
let me hold on to say let me see how to if I can end mine. I gotta figure because they got the setup like so weird on this thing.
Hi, Jasmine.
Will it let me? Okay, so okay, let me try this out. It's not showing on the thing. I don't know why it's not showing. Why is that weird on my phone? Let me see. Okay, let me. Oh, there it is. Okay.